What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Hope everyone had a good weekend. It's feeling nice and relaxed. I certainly am. I'm going to stick with the same schedule going forward. New videos every Monday through Friday, but no videos on the weekend. Gotta rest up, recharge the batteries, research the videos for next week, and be able to give more energy during the Monday through Friday videos. So, feeling good. Let's dive in. Before we get to the markets, my next altcoin pick will be on Thursday. So as I said, I'm going to do a new one of these about every 2 weeks or so, week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm really excited about this coin. It's a little bigger than the previous ones. It's a coin it's a very under the radar coin. No one has really heard of it even. Very few people are doing research in this coin. The team of this coin would be even surprised I'm looking into their coin, but for reasons I will mention in the video on Thursday, I'm expecting explosive growth very soon, so you definitely want to tune into the video on Thursday. And going along with that, I like this. I've been seeing a little sort of friendly competitiveness amongst the influencers who can have the greatest effect on a coin's performance with their videos and who's making the most accurate calls with their videos as it pertains to price in the following few days. Like this guy here made a video on an NFT collection. I believe it was bullish 3 hours ago. I made the video. It's now up at 2 times. Watch the video here. So this is good. I've been seeing a lot of this in the last week or two from girls too, actually. So everyone's kind of getting into the competitive spirit, which is good. As I've said, I think we're going to be in kind of a flat, gradual upward market for a while. So anything to just really get the competitive juices flowing, get the most out of everyone is needed. So this sort of competitive spirit, competition sort of thing amongst the influencers, I think it's good. I'm just making one rule here. Everyone, you gotta call out which video ahead of time you're making the predictions for. Because, as an influencer, like I am, you're kind of talking about a bunch of different altcoins in every week. You might do a sponsored segment on one altcoin. You might be talking about another altcoin that a friend is a part of, or another altcoin that's in an ecosystem that you're a part of, or maybe it's some new altcoin you just want to learn about it yourself, so you do a video on it. So to get the one prediction video to stand out from all the other altcoin videos you do each week, you got to call it out ahead of time. Otherwise, people could just make a bunch of, for every 5 altcoin videos they make, one of them is just, by probability is going to go up 50% the days after they post the video, just by luck. And then, of course, they could be, okay, well, then they're going to be hyping that one up, but not the other 4. So you got to give us a few days notice, you don't need to say which coin it is, because that's what I'm going to do here. I think it builds the hype up a little more, builds the anticipation. Let's have it really wonder which coin it is. I think it's better to not reveal the coin ahead of time, but you got to let everyone know which video it's going to be a few days before to kind of keep the competition level and fair. But other than that, love the competitive spirit. Keep it coming from everyone. Very excited for my next altcoin pick video on Thursday. Definitely tune in. Also, I'm officially tweeting now, finally. I've had a Twitter account for a couple months. I haven't really done too much tweeting. Now I'm just started tweeting today. Going to be doing the normal 4, 5, 6 tweets a day, all crypto stuff, some scheduled tweets, some ad hoc tweets, some just crypto news stuff, some opinion stuff on, price movement, altcoin performance, that sort of stuff. So just standard crypto Twitter stuff. You can follow me at Ben Crypto Show. That's my handle on Twitter, and Ben Crypto. So same stuff on Twitter. There I am. I should also warn you, a very small portion of my Twitter page, like 10%, is outsourced. I do not really have the time to be studying exactly who is big on crypto Twitter and who I need to follow to grow my own following, etc. All the tweets are me. I'm coming up with all those. I'm doing all the tweeting, all the commenting, everyone I already follow, and then people I want to follow in the future. I will make that very clear. But in terms of just studying all the different personalities in crypto Twitter and strategically deciding who to follow to grow my own following, I just don't have the time for that. My time is devoted strictly to studying the markets, preparing the YouTube videos, and coming up with the tweets. So just, have a heads up on that. 10 to 20% of my page is outsourced, but the rest is fully me. So know that. And again, if you're a hot girl, Twitter is just, crypto Twitter is much easier. You just instantly have a huge following of guys. If you're a guy, there's no male equivalent to that. So you got to be a little scrappier in the beginning to get a following. Sticking with Twitter, so that Martini guy, who I'm actually a fan of, I think his altcoin research, his altcoin fundamental analysis is pretty good and underrated compared to a lot of other influencers. He's a big cult DAO guy too, but I guess on the technical analysis side, he's been kind of getting some hate lately. This is what he posted yesterday or very early this morning. That Martini guy. I feel really demotivated today with all the hate in the markets. People are just awful sometimes. If you want to help out, stop liking all the hateful replies and instead like only the good ones. Twitter's algorithm shows me the most liked replies each time, which tends to get so nasty and horrible. Imagine waking up every day and the first thing you see is you lost another small fortune, and then you check Twitter and get told to kill yourself. Then imagine this every day for 2 months. So, okay, first of all, that Martini, you just gotta take a little break from Twitter, that Martini guy. Just a couple days off. So you don't need to be on it every day, posting 15, 20 times a day. Just take a little break from Twitter. It's totally normal, very mentally healthy. But in the greater picture, what's going on here is for the people who aren't that active on crypto Twitter, technical analysts in general have just been getting reamed lately. A lot of hate on there. People are basically, it's sort of a conflict of interest because in order to build a big Twitter following, you have to be posting 10, 15, 20 times a day. But if you're just doing technical analysis, there just aren't 15 to 20 things you can say per day and be right about every single one. If you wanted to be more accurate with your calls, you'd only be posting 2 to 3 times per day, but then you wouldn't grow a big following. So most of the big technical analysts with big followings are posting just way too much, and they are unfortunately wrong more often than they're right. There's a handful of good ones, 5 or 6, but many more are not good and are just wrong more than they're right. That's just the way it is. So there's not really an answer for it, but that's just really what's going on behind the scenes there. Because then if they post less, they'd be accurate, right? But then they wouldn't have as big a following, and you make money by having as big a following and getting other people into Twitter through your tweets. You know, you got to make money. That's totally fine. But then when you're inaccurate with a lot of your tweets, then people start getting angry. So that's what's going on behind the scenes. There isn't really a solution to that. I guess just technical analysts, they could just start doing more fundamental analysis or news, only do technical analysis 20, 30% of the time as opposed to all the time, because you're just going to be wrong a lot if you're tweeting 15 predictions per day based upon where the market's going to go in the next hour. Markets up today. So yeah, so there's 3 straight Sundays had a bounce. This is good. Usually crypto kind of flat or goes down on the weekend, but 3 straight Sundays in a row it's gone up about 4 or 5%. First 2 Sundays it gave it up on Monday, gave up the gains. Last Sunday it held the gains on Monday, gave them up on Tuesday or Wednesday. Today it's holding the gains still. So far on Monday here, up 4 or 5%, so hopefully it will hold the gains longer and give us some momentum going into the week. Both BTC and alt seem up across the board. It's good news. Coinbase, the story that just won't go away. I wasn't going to comment on this initially, but I think everyone's heard by now. So Coinbase made layoffs, not a big deal. All the exchanges are making layoffs, but then what really resonated with people and struck a bad chord was how they rescinded a few job offers to people that had already been offered jobs and had accepted. And this details are coming out. Some people had gotten their offers as early as February, and some of them had quit their previous jobs already. And then these weren't just lower level employees. Some of them are high 6-figure employees, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. There's 1 or 2 people quoted that they got to find the job in 90 days, or their visa's going to run out, some stuff like that. So, you know, it's kind of unfortunate all around. I mean, I take 3 things from this here. First, this is just what, being a public company, it's just harder. And this is an example of that, because when you're a public company, all the shareholders see is your 10Q and your 10K and the number at the bottom line. So Coinbase, they did not have a good quarter. They lost $430 million, but that was basically just because the crypto market went down as a whole and their crypto holdings went down. It was not due to any poor user numbers at all. Those were actually very strong. So, but the shareholders don't see that. They just see the number, $430 million. So they see that, lost a lot of money, got to be cutting costs. And when you're a public company, you have to sort of adhere to what the shareholders are saying. So when the shareholders were upset about the first quarter numbers, then this is what happens. So there's pros and cons of being a public company. What else does this show? It also shows they, like most exchanges, probably hired a little too aggressively in the winter, like 3, 4, 5 months ago when the market was up around $50,000. Then again, all the exchanges were not a big deal there. It also probably shows that Coinbase feels like I feel that we're kind of in a long haul sort of flat, gradual upward market now. They basically believe that the quick 2 to 3 month 30K upswing days, those days are over for a long time, which I would agree with them, because if they thought Bitcoin was going to go back up to $50,000 in another month or two, then that would make up for all the losses and they would solve their problem. The fact that they're laying these people off shows that they agree with me and most people in the industry. We're here for a long haul, gradual upward market, no huge spikes going forward. What else? This is Australia's first crypto ETF receives lukewarm receptions amid rising market volatility. So you're probably thinking, who cares about the Australia's crypto ETF? Doesn't affect us, which is true, but it does, because you know that the SEC is looking at the performance of the Canadian spot Bitcoin ETF and the Australian spot Bitcoin ETF in deciding whether they are going to approve it, because those are similar countries to the U.S., much smaller. It's a perfect beta test market in each of those. So the good news with both of those two countries' spot ETFs is there's been no problems, no technical issues, downtime, anything like that. They've been running good from a technical viewpoint. And then Canadians' ETF's been performing pretty good. Australia, the numbers have not been too impressive. I've been a little disappointed with the Australians in this one here. It says the debut of 21 shares spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs. The volume on the first day was only 656,000 for the Bitcoin ETF, 415,000 for the Ethereum ETF. Those are not huge numbers right there. Canadians' Bitcoin ETF on day one, it did 250 times that volume. So 250 times the math, you can, it's what, about 6 million? It's probably about 15, 20 million, it sounds like, USD on the first day. And then, what else did it say? Article also said, and then the Canadian spot BTF continued to do well. Amongst the two Bitcoin ETFs, one of them took 4 weeks to cross the 1 billion CAD mark. The other one took 3 weeks, so the conversion rate is almost 1-to-1. So 4 weeks for CAD and 3 weeks for CAD, that translates to about 5 weeks in USD to cross the $1 billion mark, and 4 weeks for the other one in USD. So that's pretty good. So 1 month, $1 billion in total volume. So the Canadian one is chugging along. The Australian one is just not quite at the same level, but it came on sort of fast. They weren't really like hyping it up. I feel like if the U.S. approved one, it would be massively hyped up. It's all we'd be reading about it the weeks before. Then the minute it would be launched, all the newscasters would be like live from the, for the stock exchange or wherever looking at it. That wasn't the case. The Australian one just came in quickly with little hoopla. So obviously the numbers are going to be a little lower. But yeah, this was reported here that if the SEC did approve one, it would probably be either Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF or ARK Invest's Bitcoin ETF. ARK Invest has partnered with 21 Shares. That was the company that launched both one of the Australian Bitcoin ETFs and one of the Canadian Bitcoin ETFs. So it wouldn't be like a new company that doesn't have a relationship with the SEC. It would be one of these two established companies that already has a relationship with them. And I guess they tweeted this out here that the 10,000 comments have been submitted to the SEC in support of Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF. I guess the more comments you get in support of it, like signatures, that increases the chances of them passing it. So that's good. And again, even if you're not interested in trading in the spot ETF, which most people aren't crypto, they're just going to stick with crypto. This is something that definitely would cause a huge pump in the market. Just because it's been so many years of, is it going to be approved, is it not going to be approved, etc. And the futures BTF, which they did approve earlier in the year, has performed pretty well. Pretty solid numbers, no major technical issues. So I think we're getting closer here. We're definitely getting closer. Moving on. So Drip2, this is the shop to earn coin I covered briefly on Friday here. So it's, as I've been saying, it's, move to earn was just, that came out of nowhere a couple months ago. It first play to earn was the biggest thing ever. And then about 3 months ago, just out of nowhere, STEPN and all the move to earn coins just exploded in popularity. The returns were insane. It was 40 times multiple return for STEPN from the first day it was on exchanges to its peak. It was a 400 times return from the IDO a couple weeks earlier. So the returns were just huge, which is irrelevant because now the move to earn has kind of peaked. It's still going strong, but it's plateaued. We are due for another earnings ecosystem to just explode out of nowhere, and that's where the returns are going to be. So I am actively searching for the next one. I've heard a bunch. I've heard shop to earn, sleep to earn, eat to earn, work to earn, just all sorts of stuff. Whichever one I think is the greatest, is picking up the greatest buzz and has the greatest popularity of being successful, that's the one I'm going to be promoting a lot. I'm going to be buying into because, as I said, the returns of the move to earn, it just caught on faster than any other ecosystem in crypto history, basically. So to sum up my analysis of shop to earn, of drip 2, and the pros and cons of shop to earn, it's intriguing. It's some pros, some cons, but the major con is the 7% buy tax and 9% sell tax. So that's kind of high. Like Cold DAO, for example, is a 0.4% buy and sell tax. A lot of coins have 0% buy and sell tax, but some coins do have these high numbers. SafeMoon is a very high buy and sell tax. I believe it's 5%. It might even be higher, like 10%. So this is unusual, but not completely unheard of. But just be aware of that. Another con is that, as opposed to STEPN, for this here shop to earn, you need both buyers and sellers to sign up for it to work. STEPN, all you need is the buyers. The buyers just buy the NFT sneakers from STEPN, and then once that happened, then move to earn caught on here. You need sellers to sign up to then buy the close from drip 2, and then they need to find buyers to buy the close too. So if you only have one of them, if you only have buyers here but not the entrepreneurial sellers, the middleman, it's not going to work. So you need one extra party to make it work. Just a little more difficult. Pros, the staking mechanism was kind of cool. How for the sellers, then they buy the close up front, and in the time it takes them to sell it before it's sold, you earn an interest. Staking, I've never heard of any staking mechanism that utilizes that. Very unusual. It's cool. It's sort of like insurance if you don't sell close, so I like that. But the con, and I'm not 100% confirmed on this, I want to verify this, it doesn't look like you can sell the close back at the sellers if they don't sell. So they have to upfront some costs, and then they earn interest on the close while they're holding the close, waiting for them to be sold. But then if they aren't ultimately sold, they get to keep the interest, but they don't get to sell the close back. So I guess the question is, how much interest do they earn in compared to their upfront costs? So it's not necessarily a con, just something to watch out for. Pro, it does seem like it's cheaper prices for most of these clothes than just going to the regular brand store, and there's the contest benefits, the vacations, trips, the launch parties with cool clothing brands. You don't get that just buying from regular wholesale online shops. And then here's another key one. There's no additional in-app token whose price could death spiral and be there. Like STEPN, as we already went over here. So STEPN, they have their GMT main governance token, then they have their in-app token, GST. It's gone through a death spiral lately. And let's be real, most people are using these move to earn apps. They're playing these play to earn games. It's partially for fun, but mostly to make money. These are people in third world countries. Philippines, Southeast Asia, money is the primary factor. So if the coin price keeps going down, players are just going to leave. So that's a problem. So the fact that drip 2 is a shop to earn company, they just have their main governance token. They don't have to deal with an in-app token whose price could death spiral. That's a huge advantage. So pros and cons of the whole shop to earn sector. I'm going to keep tabs on this company, keep tabs on that whole sector, keep tabs on all the other earning sectors, and I'm just excited to find the one that's really going to replace move to earn as the next big thing. The STEPN, also, they had a big DDoS attack over the weekend. They've had a bunch of these. DDoS attack is when an attacker just spams a whole lot of traffic onto an app or a website all at once from millions of different sources, servers. So the excess traffic causes the app or the website to go down, so no one can go onto it. So usually this is like a ransom extortionist. They'll spam the site, ask for a ransom from the company to be paid in the coin, and then if it's paid, they stop their ransom. It could also be a competing move to earn token who wants users to get frustrated that they can't get on a STEPN. Maybe they'll switch to the other token. It could also be this, it's probably this right here. So I guess it happened when STEPN was implementing an anti-cheating update. I guess there's some way that some mechanism which users can cheat to earn more coins. I haven't looked at it, but I'd have to assume that if some users were already cheating, they probably wouldn't have any reservations about launching a DDoS attack as revenge against STEPN for removing their cheating mechanism that allowed them to cheat. So I would probably assume it's whoever these cheaters are. Moving on, Cold DAO. So the big news, last week, Ryoshi, the founder of Shiba Inu, he quietly stepped down. That made the rounds, and the speculation for the last couple months has been Ryoshi Shiba Inu is the same person as Mr. Modulus, the founder of Cold DAO, and this stemmed from 2 months ago. An NFT puzzle was unscrambled to decode the words "I am Ryoshi." And then, whether it's true or not, no one really knows, but the coin did perform moon big time. This is 2 months ago, just based on that speculation. This was the rumors coming out that he was Ryoshi, and also was launched on Nexi and Gate.io. So if it's not Ryoshi, it appears that Mr. Modulus is somebody big still. Otherwise, this coin on a $0 marketing budget just would not have mooned like this and generate the interest it does. So I believe that they are the same person, Ryoshi, Mr. Modulus. Then again, price-wise, it was already kind of priced in, so it wouldn't really affect the price too much, but I believe they're the same person, and this is just relevant, obviously, as I mentioned before. Shiba Inu, the single greatest performing asset trade of all time, $13,000, and Shiba, the first day it went on exchange, would have turned into $5 billion later. So if the guy who created that coin is the same person as the guy who created Cold DAO, it's a big deal. That's a big deal. Media has not picked up on the connection yet, but then here's the update. So Mr. Modulus on Saturday, he posts this cryptic message here, a bunch of numbers, 9113, 182, 515, 1989, and then the Cold DAO community went to unsleuth it here, and then, well, you guessed it. So if you take each number and then the letter it corresponds to in order in the alphabet, so the first number is 9, the 9th letter of the alphabet is I, second number is 1, the first letter in the alphabet is A, go on like that. You guessed it, it decodes to I am Ryoshi, the exact same thing as the NFT puzzle, which was unscrambled 2 months ago. And Mr. Modulus, since he posted that message 2 days ago, he has been inactive on social media. He was posting a ton every day previously in the previous months. Now he has gone silent, just like Ryoshi did last week. So it appears, this isn't bad news at all, it appears that, yeah, in my opinion, they are the same person, and now they've both gone silent. But yeah, it appears that Cold DAO is just at the point where it's successful as CEO of the company. Mr. Rowe is, he's just running the business. He's running the company. He doesn't have time to be tweeting. I mean, the guy was tweeting 15, 20 times a day. It's a full-time job and then some. So he's already built the community, stepping back from Twitter. Now he's just running the business, running the company, and they got a lot of stuff going on. Like this billboard in Times Square. I mean, this is a big billboard. They put one up 2 months ago. It was much smaller. This thing here is huge. I mean, that's a lot of money going in. That's, so it's just a lot of behind-the-scenes business marketing to run. The effects have been good, so it's back into the top 10 trending cults. This is Luna Crush's top 10 trending altcoins of Saturday. Cold DAO is number 5. It was high on these lists about a month or two ago. Then it wasn't really on the list quite as much in the last month. Now it's good to see it. The buzz is getting, picking back up. Back in the top 5 of trending coins. Hopefully, mainstream crypto media will start to pick up on the possible connection, Ryoshi to Mr. Modulus. No one has touched it yet, but hopefully they will pick up on it. We shall see. That's it for now. Hope everyone enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, especially the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. Much appreciated. Again, follow me on Twitter, @BenCryptoShow is my handle. BenCrypto is my name there. I'll be tweeting every day, the usual 4 or 5 times per day. Back tomorrow with a new episode. Catch everyone later.